can see my house from here. So you're thinking of buying a man lift. Well, there's a few things you might want to look out for. If you're planning on moving a whole lot, you might want to get one that's moved by itself. These little tow behind units are not meant to be hooked up to a vehicle while you're using them. It's got self-leveling stabilizers, and if you try to pick up the back of your truck, it's probably going to not be so good for the system itself. Another thing is, if it is 10 years or older, you'll probably get a stellar deal on it, because every time it is due for an annual, every weld has to be x-rayed and documented for it to pass illegal safety. Now, the rules might be different if you're in a different state or province, but we're in Ontario, Canada. Those are the rules. So the value of these drops significantly when they're 7, 8, 9, 10 years old and older. So don't pay too much. Generally talking about the machine itself, you want to take a good look at it. Has it been painted before? Has it been painted properly? That means one of two things. Either they really cared about their equipment and they want to keep it looking top notch, or they're trying to hide something. Take that what you will. Not much maintenance on these, especially if it's like an electric lift. There's no grease fittings or anything on any of the pins, which I was always disappointed about. But when I had a GS 2668 Genie lift when I was in construction, I always lubed up the pins. That always kept the squeaks away, and I figured it would wear less. You can grab the stabilizers and that, a big quick check to just when they're up as you're shaking back and forth, and see if they're really sloppy or not. If they're sloppy, you know it's been used a lot. Definitely check the hours on the hour meter. Make sure that hour meter is working properly the way that it's supposed to. And hoses are about the only thing that I find really are the weak point on these, and it's because the weather gets at them. Now you can see hoses like this, they start to crack, and it's usually not an issue inside the boom. It's where they do all the flexing, and also where they're exposed to the elements. If it's stored inside, then that's much better, but it's a pretty big machine, so generally they don't stay inside. They stay outside more than they're inside. Things like grease on the turret, an excess of grease shows that they care about their equipment. It should be part of the maintenance thing, but you never know. Scissor lifts, make sure that the tires are in good shape and that they're foam filled tires. These, you don't have to worry about that because it actually gets towed behind the vehicle. That's just a quick general overview if you're thinking of buying one. In most cases it makes more sense to rent one. Let the dealer worry about all this crap, and the safety people are really particular on their paperwork. They don't really know what they're looking at when they find you at the job site, but they want to make sure that paperwork is up to par, because they love giving out the fines. Also, these have a nice spot for a generator, which is handy. I made my own little stand on the Genie to hold my generator. Always handy to see if the plugs actually work. I haven't really found too many that the plugs actually work from a generator down below. It's handy to have the generator down below. I actually put a remote car start on my generator because I didn't want to hear it run all the time, and I only needed it to do odds and ends things here and there. These baskets I think only meant for 400 pounds? Yeah, 440 pounds. And when you start putting extra weight in there, like just a generator, one, you can't move around, and two, it becomes very bouncy and it's a lot easier to bang into things. So I hope that helps. Just a quick little video. This one had a leaky hose, so we replaced that. Happy hunting, and they're a lot of fun. So we had a couple. I had a 60-foot Terex and a 67-foot snorkel. I think it was a snorkel. I forget the model. but they always served me well. My best memories were watching fireworks over the tree lines, especially on May 2-4. Best sight I ever seen was a bunch of everybody setting off fireworks in their backyards as far as the eye could see. Usually it's one big show in front of you, but it was just like as far as the horizon said, just random little fireworks poking up. And then with our 60-footer, we had the basket in there, my wife and I in there with a little wine, just tiny bit. It was non-alcoholic wine. And we watched the fireworks under a blanket from our town festival. Lots of fun. But yeah, great for pruning trees and odds and ends jobs. I need to do some shingles on my house after I fix this, because I gotta make sure that it's working properly and no other issues happen. So might as well, I don't know if you can see that, there's 2 shingles sliding off there. And so yeah, if that's what you're looking for, keep an eye out on those, ask lots of questions, and there's no shortage of used ones for sale. So if it's sketchy at all, don't buy it. Here we go.
Hey, I'm Steve Darnell. You're watching The Boss Garage.
If you let the smoke out, it doesn't work anymore.
Subscribe.